You know, the other thing that bugs me, you left your drink.
Tilt left.
That bothered me too.
I did.
Yeah. I mean, I finished it. And I thought, no.
You should have.
What, did you bring more of those drops with you?
We forgot that was not
Tilt left.
I'm ready when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Thank you. Sorry for the
Level.
for the delay.
No worries at all.
This is Blind Adam Wonders of the Awesome Sauce Radio Podcast. I am here at the AVN 2020 at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. I am here with the lovely and talented Sophia Rose. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
Yep. Let's see. How is your AVN going so far? Now that we're on day 2?
Day 2, it's hectic and chaotic, and that's what we expect, right?
Yeah.
I can't complain.
Yes. Let's see. Can you explain to my audience what BBW, what a BBW performer actually means?
Well, BBW itself stands for Big Beautiful Woman. I am a size 18. I am not a small girl. I weigh 250 pounds. I'm 5'5", so I'm a lot to love, and I like to say that I'm preferred by gentlemen who like a little extra in life, and there's a lot of extra here for me. A lot of extra tits, a lot of extra ass, a lot of extra thigh.
Awesome.
You name it. All the good parts.
Awesome sauce.
Exactly.
I think I have a BBW
A
fetish.
fetish?
And my mentor is a BBW. I think she was nominated this year.
Oh, who's that?
Julie Rocket.
Oh, I love Julie Rocket.
Julie, she's my mentor. I'm filming with her on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I would not have a mini-vid channel or Pornhub model channel, or
Nice.
I would not be advancing in the industry without her, and I love her to death.
She's awesome. I did a video with her called "I Dream of Julie."
That was you?
Mm-hmm. And we did a like where I was having a full-on sex dream of Julie, but then it was really happening. It was a lot of fun.
I actually love that scene.
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
I'll have to go back now that sometimes I watch things and like,
Tilt right.
what's with her?
Yeah. That was me.
Alright, cool. Like
You know, I really like a person if I let them eat my pussy.
Tilt right.
I let Julie eat my pussy. So
that's
Level.
yeah. I mean,
if I didn't like her, she wouldn't have access to it.
yeah,
Tilt right.
That's great. So what are you nominated for?
I have 3 nominations this year. I have Niche Performer of the Year, which is decided
Tilt
by
right.
the panel. So I'm just hoping that AVN will bless me this year. I have a little bit of what we're calling a Susan Lucci streak. I get nominated every year, and every year I don't win. So.
Tilt right.
And then I laugh about it. I just think it's funny. And then I'm also nominated for 2 fan favorite categories, and one is for BBW
Tilt right.
fan favorite, I think it's called, and also social media star of the year. And I don't know how I ended up in that category. I am definitely the underdog in that category.
Tilt right.
I'll take the honor of being nominated amongst some people that
I
I very much.
I have too many friends in the BBW category this year, so it's like I'm not voting.
Tilt
And
right.
it just said it was not fair.
Well, you vote every day for the 5 girls, and then switch it the next day. So another 5. You just keep rotating the votes. That's what I had to do because
right.
I have friends in
Tilt
all
right.
categories.
Also the voting thing for people who use computers for the blind is horrendous and horrible.
Well, we need to talk to AVN about that then.
Yeah.
Tilt right.
Website set up.
Yeah, so if you use an adaptive computer and you want to vote, it's like pulling teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sure.
Tilt right.
now that I know the trick about switching out the 5 people, I'll remember that for next year.
Yep.
But I saw too many people that I've either interviewed
Tilt right.
or really good friends of the show, and I wouldn't have gotten this far in either my podcast or in being the Stevie Wonder of porn.
Tilt right.
without them.
Yeah. I understand. And I don't, I am one of those people who is just grateful that you're taking the time to vote for anybody. It's
Tilt right.
To me, it's about, trying to give the girls, the community visibility, and if people we have a category, we're being recognized, and people are getting votes.
Tilt
it's
right.
showing in statistics and analytics that we're driving some traffic, and that's what we need. So even if you're not voting for me, I'm glad you're voting for somebody.
That's awesome.
Tilt right.
So how'd you get started in the industry?
It was an accident, actually. I had a photographer who approached me and
Tilt
said,
right.
I want to take your picture. And I thought, this weirdo is just trying to see me naked. And he was, but he was a legitimate photographer. And we met
Tilt
at
right.
Denny's, and I looked
Level.
at his portfolio. And this was back in the day where portfolios were actual books. We didn't have Instagram back then.
I remember those.
Yeah, real portfolio. And he had shot Jenna Jameson and some other really big names, and I was like, I'll give it a try. I'd never shot anything provocative. I was raised very conservative Christian, so taking off my top was just almost traumatizing. I didn't think I could do it. And so we just strategically placed my arms in cloth and fabric. Did a few photos, sent them out to some magazines. I had responses from everybody in 48 hours. Did a couple covers. I was just doing erotic glamour modeling because I didn't think I could have sex with strangers. So I did that for 6 years, and I built an amazing fan base. Mm-hmm. And then in 2012, when I finally said I was ready to do a hardcore scene, I did it, and the response was ridiculous. And I just kind of became this icon of the community. And I've been just going strong ever since. And every year, I thought I was going to retire in 2020, and I am nowhere near retirement because every year I grow so much and get fortunate opportunity that it's just, I can't give up yet.
Yeah, so as far as the BBW thing goes, if you see it being like a growing market, is it a niche?
I don't like to call it a niche. I don't even like to call it a fetish because the men that I entertain, I know it's genuinely a preference, no difference than a man that likes a redhead or a brunette or a blonde, or someone who's under 5'5" or someone who's over 6 feet. It's not a fetish unless you fetishize it yourself. I do truly believe men have a preference. And I believe that a majority of men, a good percentage of men, truly just love all women, and that if you're confident and you are comfortable with your sexuality, men are just genuinely attracted to that, regardless of your size.
To me, it's when I'm watching porn, I want to see a personality shine through, and no matter what role they play,
right?
And that really, so it's all right, cool.
The
Tilt
biggest thing
right.
in porn is that, and I don't think it matters what genre you're in, if you have to connect with your audience, and you need to connect with the consumer. And I, even in my video, will make a
Tilt right. Level.
contact on purpose, so that you feel like I'm looking straight to you, and I'm doing and feeling these things with you. And I know that connection is what makes so much of my fan base love me. I don't think as a whole it's a niche. I know in the industry it's seen that perceived that way.
I think in the industry, that's the point I think I was trying to, in a rookie mistake way, drive it.
Yeah, the industry still sees us this way. I really want that to change. It's come a long way since I started in 2006. But also, there wasn't a place for us in 2006. Nobody was really shooting us. I'm one of the original content creators before we had all these clip sites.
I think the first time I even heard of BBW was Exotica. In New Jersey, had a little section back in 2000. When was I there with the cars? About 2011, 2012.
Yeah, I want to say they did have them in like 02, 03, like way back, but they were. We're talking about 3 or 4 girls. Like, it wasn't a prominent community. We are a huge community today. Huge. And if everybody would just get their act together and their business acumen would get a little bit more refined, I think that we would see a stronger presence. Unfortunately, not everybody has that kind of drive. And those are things I try to mentor and change and help with the girls.
That's awesome.
That's
awesome. I've been asking this all weekend because I'm trying to. I am a lone nut gunman in this endeavor right now. How do we get more people with disabilities involved in
Tilt right.
I think that you have to have an audience that wants to do it. Part of where I believe people, why we become either fetishized or
Tilt right.
Held back per se, is you have to have that brave soul that's willing to step away and out of their comfort zone and say,
Tilt right.
I don't
Level.
care that I have this disability. I don't care that I don't fit this market ideal. I'm going to be who I am and be comfortable. Like I said, have confidence and comfortable with their sexuality, that they embrace it and put themselves out there. It's a very difficult thing to do because it requires a lot of vulnerability, and you have to have some thick skin to take the
Tilt right.
judgments. But my reason
That's
for ever
right.
being in this industry is advocacy, and advocacy of all people, of all sizes, of all colors, of all races, of all
Tilt right.
disabilities.
Awesome sauce.
Because we have to normalize our society, and the only way to normalize it, I think, is through porn, because porn has the largest audience.
Tilt
in the
right.
world.
I've been
The
saying this
world.
all weekend long, and I'll say it to the day I die. I will
Messages.
not be
Now.
a fully,
Ralph. Holy crap, where did you get...
for a second, a fully functioning blind person if it wasn't for porn. It was the first
Don't
time.
get emotional.
It was the first. It took me in a time when I really needed a place to belong.
Right. And I feel like because our audience is so huge, I feel like it's, as the industry, it's our responsibility to represent that, because the rest of the world isn't going to see us any other way. You know what I mean? We're not going to get that visibility.
Yeah.
This is where the biggest audience in the world is in the porn industry. For that to translate into fashion and to become normalized amongst, what we call civilians, the daily people, which are still all watching porn, right?
They're just they're the people that's. What's all this porno stuff in your browser history? What?
What? Yeah.
It's
They're
the people that hide it, the closet.
Right, and they're in the closet about it, and that's why I'm saying a lot of it is fetishized, but it doesn't need to be. It should just be normalized, and I think the only way we're going to normalize it is through keeping those bodies all tight, with all physical capabilities, involved in the porn business, and without making it become a quote-unquote freak show. We don't want to. It doesn't need to be a freak show. This does not need to be a circus.
No.
You should be able to show that you're still an abled individual with your sexuality.
My whole thing is A, I simply don't give a fuck, and B, you don't expect to have a vision.
0 fucks are given. All fucks must be paid for. That's my motto.
Thank you, Sarah Knight. I'm listening to the audio. I listened to the audiobook last night to try to drown out the. I think my hotel is behind the $20 crack whore part of Las Vegas Boulevard. Because I heard a lot
You're
of.
like trying to drown it. You're doing some white noise.
I'm trying to just. It's like, okay, I'm totally sober. All my friends didn't want to do anything. I think I forgot that it was Evil Angel after party last night. I went uploading interviews to YouTube and trying to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Tilt right.
Right.
Level.
I've definitely been there and done that before.
Yeah. What advice would you give for someone just starting out?
My advice, my standard
Tilt
advice
right.
is to pace yourself. Do not jump in and do everything all at once. I have been here for 14 years. I have been relevant in my community for 14 years because I have paced myself.
Tilt right.
And there is so much you can do in every scope of porn. If you were to just do solo, there's so many things you can do before you need to switch to girl or interacting with a male or vice versa. There's so much can be done. I've been in this business 14 years and I've never shot an anal scene, and that is like the big ticket everybody wants right now. I'm waiting till a big studio offers me a nice check before I say I'm going to do it. And that will probably be my retirement at that point. Because that's like the one thing everybody wants that I haven't done. And that's how we keep, I feel like you keep your relevance by pacing yourself. If you do everything all at once in the first 6 months, you're going to be done in less than a year.
So in this day and age, in the day of, people not paying for stuff and everything everywhere, what do you think it takes to have longevity and last 5, 10, almost 15 years?
The personal connection. It is the personal connection that I have with my fans that I have grown over the years, that they are so loyal and continuing to want more. There's no such thing as enough of Sophia Rose. And if you build your brand correctly with those personal connections, you will thrive for years. I watch girls at 5 or 6 year mark start to go, I'm slowing down, my star's falling. Yeah, you have to turn a corner and do something a little different to get past that if you're not making true personal connections. I know a lot of these fans by name. I know their usernames, so when they join my website, they join my OnlyFans, they join my Snapchat, they join my whatever it is, I know it's them every time because it's the same people and it's a good group.
Like I said, I've
Tilt right.
lately been adding more and more performers so that these ladies have sexy voices by their content list I put on Twitter.
Yeah, they're telling me that I have to get going. We need to wrap this up.
That's what I thought. I thought I was getting the red light. I want to thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
And you have an amazing AVN.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
See you.
Stop recording video.